Hey everybody, Mike Dukes here. Welcome back. This is Gaming on Geek Street, and I thought I would give you all an update on what's going on. We finished our Curse of the Crimson Throne campaign back in, today is May 19th, 2024. We finished it back in April? Maybe the end of March? I initially had thought we were going to be ending it back in August, September of 2023. This is the downside to playing every other week, because if you suddenly miss a game, one becomes another. It was a whole thing. Anyway, I've always had a lot of games I have owned and maybe played a few times, or maybe didn't get to play at all because the previous group I had just wasn't interested. Delta Green being one of those, Call of Cthulhu being another. So I thought I would make 2024 the year of horror and mystery. Well, as I said, it's May 19th. We haven't started playing anything new yet. So it may end up being just going forward. It's horror and mystery. Not just 2024, just all the way out. I mean, come on. I can run horror and mystery in pretty much anything. Star Wars, Star Trek, My Little Pony. Throw it out there. I can make it horror and mystery. One of the two, or both. So here's what we're going to do. Scheduling wise, I'm still working on that. I'm also, because I'm a one-man show, I'm trying to figure out ways to make it less work. Our previous setup was a 3-camera setup, and they were not going through a switcher, so that was 3 individual bits of data. On average was around 48 gigabytes per camera. So if I got behind on editing, suddenly my hard drive is screaming at me because I've got these episodes, and I'm trying to avoid that. I have a camera switcher. I need to get a laptop. I'm not sure how I'm going to pull that off. But even still, I'm going to need somebody to operate that switcher, so I don't know how that's going to work. So if I can't do that, I'm looking at using a 360 camera. It's a 360 degree. I can just have it sat there and then just take multiple files, basically copy the same file 3 times or 4, or whatever I need, have it pointing at the group of players for this one, at me for this one, all of us for this one. My main thing is we were not playing online, and yet we had it set up on screen as though we were playing online. You had me, you had this table and this table. After watching Chaosium's 2 Call of Cthulhu big grand campaign, mini campaigns, I loved the way it was atmospheric. You had Mark, the keeper, in his chair. He had a little table there for his laptop, his books, and then you had 1 or 2 couches for the players. And it was a switcher system, so if Mark was playing and he really wanted to focus on what he was saying and his facial expressions, boom, you switch to his camera. If you want to see what this person is saying, you switch to their camera. If you want to see reactions of everyone, you switch to the main wide camera. That's what I would like to do going forward. I would love to have everybody in costume. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Maybe once. It won't be a constant thing. So I'm still working on the games we're going to play. It's looking as though Delta Green will probably lead things off. I thought Cthulhu was going to Call of Cthulhu, but it may be Delta Green. And then on top of that, I'm going to just be doing a show called Gathering Weapons. I actually shot 1 episode already. It's already aired on our local PEG station here in town. But it's not a review show, and it's going to be focused on horror and mystery, TTRPGs. But what made me really want to do it was I got Delta Green, Chill 3rd edition, and 7th edition Call of Cthulhu, all I think around the same year. And I think Delta Green might have got the Agent's Handbook last. I think it arrived last. All 3 use percentile dice systems. All 3 are horror investigative games. And in particular, if you are knowledgeable in one, say Call of Cthulhu, is probably the most popular at the moment. Then your question might be, why would I play Chill when I could just kind of do the same thing in Call of Cthulhu? Or why would I play Delta Green if I can just do a modern Call of Cthulhu? I mean, there are occupations for a federal agent in the book. So that really got me to thinking, okay, yeah, why? What specifically within the system and the setting lore differentiates these? So I'm going to dive into that. Probably the first, it'll probably be a two-parter. First episode, looking at Delta Green, Chill 3rd edition, Call of Cthulhu 7th edition, and previous editions. And just, why would you play this one instead of that one? What does this offer that this one does not? If you're looking for this, perhaps it's this one. That's what's going to lead things off, and then I'll look at other games that we're going to be playing. I don't want to do a game that I have not actually ran or played in. So the list right now, again, if you follow our Instagram, which I haven't posted it up, so you probably haven't, probably don't. I have a beginning list that I thought was going to be 2024, and now it's obviously going to probably extend well beyond 2024. But games like these three, Hunter the Reckoning, Vampire the Masquerade, Vaesen, Alien, Blade Runner. I know I'm forgetting something. I love Star Trek Adventures. 2nd edition of that's coming out at Gen Con. I can do plenty of mysteries in Star Trek. Star Wars Edge of the Empire, Marvel Multiverse role-playing system. There'll be a lot of games. It's going to lead off with a lot of horror and mystery, but it'll probably begin to widen as we go. So anyway, I think that's about it. And also, as I mentioned at the beginning, because I'm trying to cut down on the workload, I am toying with the idea of, I might experiment trying it with Delta Green, of just recording audio, make it a podcast. I can still pop that on YouTube, just whether it be motion graphics or just a flat image on the screen. I just know that when it comes to my own watching, I watch a lot of YouTube, I watch a lot of tutorials for the visual effects work I do and whatnot, and actual plays, but it's easier for me if I'm working out. I can't play YouTube on my phone without the actual YouTube being active on the phone. I can't let it go to sleep and still play like you can with music or a podcast. It's same thing if I'm driving and I want to listen to it. If I'm running, it's just easier with a podcast, and I think that might be the case for a lot of you out there. So maybe I'll dabble into both. We'll do our videos for YouTube, and then I'll cut audio just for a podcast. My only problem with that is I need to train myself and our players to verbalize what is happening a little bit more. As a GM, I rely a lot on my facial expressions. So I may just with a look be able to get a message across. Or if I have tears streaming down my face, it's obvious on video. Capturing that on audio, you have to say he has a tear running down his face, or my character looks to them and does this, or a look of shock passes his face. I would have to train myself again and our players to kind of remember you don't have that visual cue, so for people that are just listening, they're going to be lost unless you kind of put that forward. I don't know, we'll see. So I'm not going to waste your time anymore. My dog is already asleep over there. Oh, she woke up. Okay. So I think that's it. We're going to get out of here, and I don't have a timetable, but start looking for things soon. Probably you'll see Gathering Darkness pop up first before any campaign stuff. I've got to talk to a couple of players about the Delta Green stuff. Traditionally, if back in the day when Delta Green first began, it was common to have a cell of 3 agents, and I don't know, I'm kind of wanting to do an X-Files vibe, just 2 players. And what I've got in mind, I don't know if that's such a good idea. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll let you guys know. Keep an eye on that Instagram. I try to keep it updated. Just, there are so many photos of, look, I have this book. That's not that interesting. But hopefully going forward, we can get more behind the scenes stuff. And again, I got a 360 camera. Might as well use it. So maybe I'll use that for behind the scenes stuff. And I would love to, if possible, get the old group from Curse of the Crimson Throne back just for a retrospective Q&A. Going through from beginning to end, what did they think, what did they feel, what they like, what they didn't like, just to get a feel for it. I think that might be beneficial just for anyone who's considering running Curse of the Crimson Throne, or maybe Pathfinder for Savage Worlds in general. So we'll see what happens there, no promises, and all right, that is it. I will see you guys later, probably gabbing nonstop about Call of Cthulhu Chill and Delta Green.